How you doing today? I hope you are all well. Today we're going into r/entitled people, where the people are truly entitled. If you enjoy today's stories, remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below about your thoughts on the stories, and hype this video if that option's available to you. Now, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? My parents want my sister to move in with me. I am the oldest of 3 children and have one sister, 19 female, and one brother, 17 male. My sister attends the same university as me and she currently lives in a dorm. I do not. I have an amazing deal. When I was a freshman, I became part of a church youth group. Said church has a single apartment in the basement. It's free to someone who cleans and does other duties around the church. I volunteered for the job and I have lived there for the past 2 years. It's nothing grand, but I have a bedroom, a bathroom, a kitchenette, and living room. My toilet's broken and my doors won't properly shut and the lights constantly flicker, but it's free as long as I keep up my end of the bargain. My sister, like I said, lives in a dorm. My parents pay for everything, but they're going through a tough patch. My brother has been hospitalized for psychosis, and my dad fell off a ladder that was hospitalized for a while, and my mom had a varicose vein removed. Then my dad brought some farmland that cost over $355,000 in American money. We still live comfortable lives, but my parents have become very stingy. They've started criticizing my financial decisions. My dad even accessed my bank account and called me to complain about how much money I spend. It's made me very, very uncomfortable. Now, both my parents have asked me to let my sister move in with me next year. They say it'll be a big financial burden off their shoulders. They said that one of us can live in my kitchenette living room until I graduate my uni. My dad even came to visit, checked out my living room, and talked about installing a rod and a curtain to turn my living room into a makeshift bathroom. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my sister. She's fashionable, funny, and incredibly smart. She's a writer who had some of her work published in literary magazines. We get along well. But here's the problem. I don't get along well with my parents, especially my mom. She has untreated mental health issues and has been verbally abusive to me in the past. I still live in fear that she will snap again, as she does on a whim. She could be fine one day, and then the next she's laughing at me for being fat and having no friends. One day she says I'm her favorite, the next she's telling me that she hopes I die. My dad means well, but he enables her. He will always take her side when push comes to shove. My sister's pretty close to my mom, and she often reports to mom about what I'm doing. Mom was mad that I was losing weight, so she had my sister go through my fridge and report on what I was eating. I had a depressive spell this semester that was really bad due to some report on what I was eating. Due to some terrible things mom said and did. My apartment was not in great shape and my sister came over to use my shower and saw my kitchen and immediately called mom and dad. Now both my parents are mad at me for violating God's space, as my dad calls it. So I told the pastor about the situation and he agreed to not let my sister join me. My family is pissed. My dad was even considering sneaking my sister into an apartment, as no one would ever know, but as per my knowledge has realized that's a terrible idea. My sister has been pretty passive aggressive in the past few days and is complaining about how she will have to live in a dorm again as she doesn't know how to find a roommate. Did I handle the situation well? Am I justified in thinking that I do not owe my parents or sister anything? Should I abandon them all and move far, far away? Any thoughts or advice is appreciated. So, going to the landlord/pastor was the right thing to do. Thumbs up to that. The pastor saying no, that you will both lose your housing if they attempt to force you to let your sister move in with you. Also, open a bank account in a different bank that your parents do not know about and cannot access. Go online to the major credit bureaus and lock down your credit, alright? That is very important, I'm just saying. Now, I'm gonna go eat some ice cream and then we'll move on to the other story. Leave a comment guessing what kind of ice cream I have. First person to guess the ice cream flavor right gets pinned. How's that sound? Okay, so topic warning for this next one. Fecal matter. Mom asked me to take her child's dirty diaper in a parking lot. I'm not sure if this belongs here or elsewhere, but this is the closest I can think of. Earlier today, I went to the grocery store to do a bit of shopping for a surprise dinner I was thinking of cooking for my fiancée. When I parked my car, I stayed in there for a couple of minutes responding to an email. Next to my car was a Subaru Outback, and the tailgate of it was open. I didn't pay too much mind as I noticed a woman there earlier. Once I finished my email, I stepped out and smell of baby feces hit me like a tsunami. I went to go back to my car to grab the reusable bags from there. As I stepped to the back of my car, I noticed why the Subaru tailgate was open for so long. The woman back there was changing diapers on 2 kids. The putrid smell was coming from one of those cheap metal and soft plastic baby strollers sitting next to the car that one of the babies had a severe blowout in. I just grabbed my bags and started walking out the store. I had my headphones in, so when the woman said something in my direction, I didn't notice it. As I walked past her, she tapped my shoulder with her shit-covered hand, might I add, and I recoiled, put a headphone down, and said, "What the fuck?" She rolls her eyes at me, points to the still open diaper sitting next to her kids, and goes, "Can't you take those to the trash?" I must have made a disgusted face, but not wanting to be rude, I didn't say anything. Opened up my car, grabbed my wet wipes. I keep an emergency kit to wipe out the shit from my shirt. It still smelled horrid, by the way, so I changed into my emergency t-shirt. I had an undershirt on below my shirt, so I didn't worry about taking my shirt off in public at this point. I closed my trunk and walked away so she wouldn't be able to touch me. When I came out of the store and walked to my car, the smell was still there. The car was gone. She had left a blown out baby stroller, and open diapers had been left next to the parking spot. What the fuck? Why are some parents like this? I have no idea. Let's read the comments. She touched you with her shit-stained hands? Absolutely not. So gross. You are a lot nicer than I would have been. And then OP replies in the comments to that. They weren't stains. She straight up had shit-covered hands. How you didn't scream in her face for wiping literal human feces on you? A complete stranger, I will never know. I will never know. God damn. Alright, we got a short one over here. Parents are mad about my moving choice. So my husband and I, 27 years old, have a baby together and live out of state. We're moving to the same city as my parents. We choose a suburb that worked for us and where we felt best for us. It's about 45-ish minutes from my parents, and they are mad we didn't include them in the home buying process and didn't choose to live in their bubble. We didn't realize that we have distant family members in our new suburb that live quite close to us. Those family members and my parents have some history and do not get along. My parents are upset we are living near them when we don't know how close our house was to them. Clearly, that wasn't a factor, or we even thought about that because we don't talk to those family members. My parents are trying to control where we live and are upset. I didn't loop them in on the process because I already knew what their reactions would be if we didn't do exactly what they wanted. So this is the first time we're living in the same city as adults, and quite honestly, we didn't want it to be 5 minutes from my parents. We wanted to be able to have some space, but still see them every so often, even if that means we just drive to them. But they are very upset and said I hurt their feelings. But I don't feel like I need to try and please them when it comes to my family. Am I wrong for this? No, you are not wrong whatsoever, OP. You are 100% not wrong. Your parents are being unreasonable and unfair. Your family, husband and child, come first. Numero uno. Being 45 minutes away from your parents just maybe a blessing based on this singular interaction. My dad won't let me live with my boyfriend because of religion. Hello everyone, I need some advice. Me, female 22, and my boyfriend, male 21, have been in a relationship for almost 8 years and plan to move in together soon in about 1 or 2 years. He is in his final year of college studying biology and wants to start a master's program with our scholarship right after graduation. I am in the middle of an undergraduate nursing degree and I have scholarships for scientific initiation and student support. Brazilian scholarship, so to speak. My parents, especially my father, do not like the idea of me moving in with my boyfriend before marriage, mainly because of religious morals, Christian congregation. But I'm not even baptized by that church, and I do not agree with some of its doctrines. They would agree to let me live with my boyfriend if I only got married in a civil ceremony and left the wedding party for the future, but that's definitely not what my boyfriend and I want. We want both things as close together as possible, preferably on the same day. On the other side, my in-laws and my boyfriend are Catholic and don't see much of a problem with us living together before marriage. So I find myself at a crossroads. If I decide to get married only legally, without the whole ceremony of my dreams before moving in with my boyfriend, I will be hurting him. But I move in with him before getting married, I'll hurt my parents. What should I do? Won't let me. Me 22. That's a whole bunch enough for me, boy. You can do what you want. You're an adult. Your parents have no say in your life right now unless you're financially tied to them somehow. In that case, if that's the case, I would recommend trying to get a job in between your classes. That's the best I can suggest right now if it's financial reasons that you can't upset your parents. But other than that, you're an adult. Do what you want to. And I'm going to end today's storytelling video here. I'm just testing my new tracking setup. Let me know what you think about it in the comments if you have nothing else to comment, because I like my new hand moving thing. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and hype the video. Now I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. Alright, hang on. Can I actually walk off the screen? Oh, that's a thing I can do. Lovely.